evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Beer Blather 163 Backlash and Barium Meals. This is Saul Montes-Bradley, the largest human repository of useless information from Florida. I'm sounding like Pygmalion now. And right next, you know what I'm talking about. I wonder how many people that one just flew over their heads. And right over here, but not quite over here, from California, Thomas Wictor, the only living expert in World War I flamethrowers, and a master of reason and bullshit finder extraordinaire. How about that? Just for a little. How are you doing, Thomas? Keeping your sanity?
Yeah, we should get this out of the way. There's an attempted coup underway in Sudan, and
yes,
this is a disaster of the Biden administration because the Trump administration, the Sudanese overthrew the long-term dictator, and then the military and the civilian activists were at loggerheads, and so they specifically asked Trump for help by name, and Trump's people worked out a deal that was so good that all sides enthusiastically embraced it. Trump went out of power, and then remnants of the former dictators, the former dictator in the armed forces started reneging on the deal, not only because they were worried about being hauled in front of the International Criminal Court for war crimes, but also because they thought they were going to lose their lucrative gold mines in the Sudan. And so there was a coup again by the military. There was a democratically elected, or was it? No, it was a transition government. And this is a huge mess because now the army is fighting what are known as the Rapid Support Forces, which are the former Janjaweed terrorists, the Islamists
yes,
who terrorized Sudan and Christian Sudanese and South Sudanese for decades. So there's no good guy in this fight right now.
no.
And it's going to be almost impossible to work out because the Saudis and the Emiratis are backing the coup because the guy who got thrown out, then reinstated, and then he resigned, he's virulently anti-Israel, so he was threatening the Abraham Accords.
Yep.
So it's not that the evil military threw out a good guy, it was that bad guys threw out
Worse guys.
worse guy, and now they're fighting even worse guys.
Yep.
So
remember when there was talk of Sudan joining the Abraham Accords?
yes.
The thing was already, but what do you want? I mean, Afghanistan in the hands of the Taliban and Al-Qaeda. I saw that movie before and I know how it ends. The Sudan back as a failed state, just when, say, Clinton bombed the pharmaceutical plants where they feared sarin was being produced for Al-Qaeda. Somalia is back to being a producer of pirates and Al-Shabaab terrorists.
Libya.
I mean, is there Libya is
Iraq.
well, Libya with a little bit of Italian influence is escaping so far the complete shithole picture.
Italian, Italy, not
yes,
the United States.
Yes, with Italian influence. Yeah. And the question is, what did we expect? We knew that Biden was going to cause the entire world to go into a shithole for absence of leadership. Now we have that clown communist convicted felon, again president of Brazil, trying to create a South America-China axis. South America is dropping like flies into the Iran-China sphere.
Yep.
And this is for no other reason than the U.S. lack of leadership.
Well, I saw something, a microcosm that can be expanded to a macrocosm of the United States. Walmart has closed all its stores in Chicago, and they're leaving. So the leftist activists are protesting because people aren't going to have the Walmart pharmacy anymore. All the jobs can be gone, et cetera, et cetera. And Walmart Walmart said we operated those stores for 17 years at a loss. So basically, they gave everybody 17 years to get their act together. They couldn't.
Yep.
Walmart is leaving, and now the people of Chicago elected a mayor who's going to give them more of the very problems that they're complaining about right now.
Yep.
And that's what happened when the country elected Biden, with a little help from, election theft. But plenty of Americans elected Biden, and this is the end result.
And speaking of theft, it was the same liberal Democrat asshats who picketed Walmart because Walmart exploitation. They don't pay enough to their employees. Their bathrooms lack lavender perfume or whatever the crap. And now they're protesting because, what do you mean you're leaving because we're stealing too much? What about the right of people to steal? You have to stay here so we can steal you blind.
Yeah, exactly. This is eerie. They're making threats against Walmart. And Walmart is saying, that's not going to work. It's very eerie because the new mayor of Chicago is much worse than Lori Lightfoot. He says that basically the cause of all of poverty is police and having to pay for the police. So if we do away with the police, then we can lift
and increase food stamps.
We can lift people out of poverty, and then corporations. He's going to massively tax corporations, giving them an incentive to do what? Stay?
To get the fuck out.
Of course.
And you and I discussed the death, what I call the Detroit death spiral.
Yes.
You raise your taxes to the point that some companies and people get the fuck out because they can't pay anymore. So your tax base is reduced. So you solve that problem by raising taxes further. So even those who stayed on the first round get the fuck out on the second. And before you know it, you're turning city blocks back into farmland.
Yeah.
And that's, Chicago is, I'd say about 15 years behind Detroit. And LA is about 10 years behind Chicago.
Yeah. I just saw a video just now. We're going to be talking about Backlash. New York City, 7-Eleven. Transsexual man walks into 7-Eleven.
Wait. I should tell you now, but we're going to stop momentarily. We started in YouBoob as well. But since we're going to talk about things that drive YouTube censors into conniption fits, we're going to stop with YouTube now. We've had enough because we don't want to stop talking about what we want to talk about. So people in YouBoob, please note right there in the description the link to follow this show in Odysee, and another link if you want to join our channel in Odysee and follow us and all that just by becoming a member. That said, bye-bye, YouBoob. It was nice knowing you. Not remove. Okay.